There's no sugarcoating this. We're talking about something far beyond your wildest fears. Ali Carter has been sending us signals for years. She's not just talking anymore. She's exposing everything, everything. The events are cascading in ways no one could have predicted. You can't hide from the truth for long, and now that truth is breaking through the cracks. The people in power have been in control for so long that they forgot one simple truth. Nothing stays hidden forever. And those who thought they could control the narrative are now scrambling to cover up their darkest secrets. It's only a matter of time before their walls collapse. What do you think you know? It's not even the beginning. You think it's all about scandals, about celebrities and politicians. Sure, that's part of it, but it's much worse than that. The corruption runs deeper, down into the very heart of society, into institutions we thought were safe. Schools, hospitals, the police. They've all been complicit, looking the other way for years, turning a blind eye to what's been happening in the shadows. Have you heard about the flight logs? You know who's on them. Don't act like you don't. We all know those names. They're the people you watch on TV, listen to on the radio, the ones who smile at you from the covers of magazines. You never thought those faces could be hiding such vile truths, but they are. And it's all about to explode. Ghislaine Maxwell, yes, her. We all know she's the one who kept the machine running, the one who played both sides, trafficking, manipulating, controlling. But she didn't do it alone. She was just a cog in a much larger operation. And now it's coming for everyone involved. There are big names on the list, and they're not just Hollywood stars. You trust your banks, Chase, Bank of America? Guess what? They're all tied up in it. The system that's been hiding this horror is far bigger than you can even imagine. But here's the thing, the deeper they go, the more dangerous it gets. They didn't just stop at hidden transactions or secret meetings. No, they built an empire underneath the very cities you live in. There are underground tunnels, hidden passageways that lead to places you'd never believe. And those places, they're not full of riches and treasures, number. They're full of suffering, full of people, children, lost and forgotten, just pawns in a game so sick and twisted you'd never guess it was real, but it is. And Ali's been down there. In her own words, she was locked in containers with shipments of kids. It's as horrifying as it sounds. Babies, 6-year-olds, children who have no name, no home, no future. They're moved around like cattle, and no one says a word. They were just lost. And Ali saw them. She held their tiny hands, looked into their eyes and knew. She knew they were going to vanish. She remembers one girl, a little girl named Bailey, a child so small and fragile. Bailey was sick, too sick, but Ali tried to hold on to her, tried to protect her. But the people who ran the operation, they took Bailey and they killed her, coldly, no questions, no remorse. Ali saw it all and she knew that this wasn't some isolated case. This was happening everywhere. The worst part, Ali wasn't the only one. There were so many others, children from all over the world taken from their homes, from their families, and forced into the hands of those who would do unspeakable things to them. And the worst part about it all? Everyone in power just let it happen. Judges, politicians, social workers. It was a system built to silence, built to erase, built to hide the truth. And for years, it worked. But now, Ali's telling us what she knows. She's naming names. She's showing us the connections, the documents, the photos. She's holding on to evidence that could take down entire governments, entire industries, and she's not afraid to use it. You've seen the fires, right? Those wildfires that tore through California, the ones that burned through neighborhoods, wiped out entire cities, destroyed homes. People thought it was just another natural disaster, but Ali told us it wasn't. She predicted it, said the fires would be used to cover up the evidence. They would wipe out everything, buildings, files, photos, The media covered it, but no one asked why the fires were so specific, so concentrated. Why did they only hit certain areas? Why Hollywood? Why celebrity homes? Why the richest neighborhoods? The answer is simple. It wasn't an accident. The flames were carefully controlled, strategically placed to burn the truth to the ground. The fires were designed to erase the evidence, destroy the last threads of proof that could tear down the facade they built. Ali's been telling us about the underground tunnels, about the dark corners of our cities that no one talks about. She's been saying that this isn't just a Hollywood problem, this is everywhere. The rich and powerful have their own private worlds, places hidden beneath our feet, where they can do whatever they want without anyone seeing. These are the places where children vanish, where deals are made in the dark. And once the truth is exposed, once people see how deep the rabbit hole goes, there will be no going back. Ali's not just revealing scandals, she's exposing an entire system. She's exposing a network that has existed for decades, from the White House to the corporate boardrooms, from the back alleys of the slums to the penthouses of the richest men in the world. They're all connected, and they all have something to hide. It's not just about sex trafficking anymore. It's about power, the kind of power that controls everything. Your government, your media, your schools, the medical system, the very fabric of society. And Ali, she's the one with the key. She's the one who has the proof. She's seen it all and she's not backing down. She's going to take them down piece by piece. But there's a price to pay for exposing the truth. The people in power will stop at nothing to silence her. They've already tried. They've tried to discredit her, to ruin her, to make her seem crazy. They've tried to erase the evidence she's holding on to. They've tried to burn everything, but they've made one mistake. They underestimated Ali Carter, because Ali isn't backing down. She's not going to stop until the truth is out. She's ready to burn it all to the ground. She's not alone anymore. The truth is too powerful to be contained. This is just the beginning. The storm's coming, and when it hits, it's going to wipe out everything in its path. The walls will fall, the lies will crumble, and the truth will be the thing that sets us free or destroys us forever. You need to decide where you stand. Are you going to be part of the cover-up, or are you going to demand the truth? Because once it's out, there's no going back. The clock is ticking. Will you act before it's too late? The truth is something people don't want to face. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You can't pretend it's not there. And the more we uncover, the more horrifying it becomes. But it's not enough just to know about it. You have to do something with that knowledge. You have to act. And here's the problem. Most people won't. They'll shrug it off. They'll say, that's too much for me to handle. That's too dark, too ugly. But you know what? The people who say that are the ones who don't have the courage to look the monster in the face. They're the ones who let the darkness continue just because it's too uncomfortable for them to confront. And while they keep their heads buried in the sand, the world keeps turning and the system keeps going. It's not just the rich and powerful who are complicit, it's everyone. The people you trust, the ones who run your communities, who hold positions of influence and leadership, they're in on it. The ones who pretend to care, who speak in front of crowds about justice and equality, are often the ones who are profiting off of the very system that keeps others down. Have you ever asked yourself, why is nothing ever done about these things? Why are these issues always swept under the rug, ignored by the very people who are supposed to protect us? Why is the child trafficking industry still flourishing? Why are organizations that claim to care about victims still accepting donations while turning a blind eye to the reality of what's really going on? It's simple, because it's profitable. The traffickers make billions, but the ones who really profit are the ones who sit at the top of the pyramid. They're the ones pulling the strings from behind closed doors, making sure the money keeps flowing. They don't care about the children. They care about the power, the influence, the wealth, and they'll do anything to keep it. They have the resources to make sure their actions go unnoticed, and when someone like Ali Carter comes along, someone who dares to speak out, they'll do everything in their power to shut them down, and that's exactly what they've done.